me see. Okay, testing. Cool. All right, guys, good morning. Good morning. Welcome aboard to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of GAR Capital. It is Wednesday, November 30th, 2022. Let's get straight into it. Around the horn, Dow futures up, down about 30 points. We were up earlier in the session, then we had some economic data come in. GDP, core PCE. We're going to go over those numbers here in a second. But again, we were higher earlier today. Down 35 points on the Dow. NASDAQ down 0.05%, pretty much flat. S&P flat but red, 3958, excuse me. 1837 for the Russell. That's pretty much flat, red. 10-year Treasury yields did jump post of the economic data. 10-year Treasury yields now at 3.787%. 106.60 for the dollar. US dollar has been very choppy. We do have a little bit of a resistance level here right around 106.88. We keep tapping that 200 on the 1 hour. Volatility index still above the channel, downward channel, 2222, but still depressed or down. 1.51%. It is still up today. Crude oil up 3.61%, $81 a barrel. Let's take a look at crude oil. Nice bounce today on that. Again, a very volatile commodity, as we know. We'll go to the 2-year chart quickly, and you could see this line that we drew here, 74.66. Let me see where I got that line exactly. There you go. And that line, that support has been defended. You could see it right there, right around $75 a barrel. Seems to be that sweet spot for OPEC and the traders here. So again, if you were to go long on crude oil, take a look here. You have the 100 moving average. This is on the weekly. So 100-week moving average right below it at 81.55. I'd want to wait for this break here around $85 a barrel. Maybe you could start taking a look at energy stocks that have been depressed a little bit lately. I mean, they're killing it. I think ExxonMobil last I checked was up 80-something% year to date. Again, we talked about XLE energy stocks. We've traded it since 2021 with XOP and all that. But again, you could see this double top that we are kind of forming. Would want to break 95 before we start doing any kind of risk on there. Again, I love value stocks. I love the dividend. Obviously, energy has the cash. That's the market that, well, the sector that is outperforming in 2022. Pretty much performing like the NASDAQ used to. Remember when we were in boom times? Now it's energy. So we do have a gap to fill on XLE on the daily. So right around 91.56. I hate trading options on XLE. I'd rather just buy it if that's the case. But again, if we were looking to buy some XLE, let's see if we can break 86.20 first. Again, that's really the first bet. We want to get a nice little discount. If not, then we got to see if we break above that 94-ish level, maybe 95, call it. Keeping it moving here. Gold futures up 0.32%. Alex says, I sold XLE. Well done. Again, that double top, you took a lot of profits. Good for you. Let's see if we can break above it. But again, with oil or with crude oil right around $80 a barrel, you can see kind of that disconnect with XLE and oil. It's all about demand of the companies. Chevron is still in demand. They're going to be drilling more in Venezuela. ExxonMobil still the biggest in the U.S., with also Warren Buffett buying Oxy. Again, energy stocks are in vogue. They're in demand. That's why XLE is outperforming crude oil, just the commodity in a sense. But again, not a bad place to take profits, Alex. That was a response here on the chat. Gold futures up 0.28%. Gasoline futures, read somewhere yesterday from Gas Buddy, the app, the person who runs it on Twitter. $2.99 a gallon is the average cost of a gallon of gas in the United States. That's a big, big level, big psychological level, especially heading to the holiday season. More money in your pocket. Inflation kind of falling a little bit. I know let's not make a victory lap yet, but again, we're starting to sow the seeds. We're going to go over that seasonality here in a second. Silver futures up 2.35%. Copper futures up 2.72%. Euro dollar 103.61. We talked about the correlation with the euro dollar and the S&P yesterday. So the euro dollar also helped in the bulls today. Dollar yen 139.43. That's up 75 pips. Pound dollar up 28 pips, 119.83. Bitcoin is bidding 16,635. I think we hit 17,000 yesterday or last night. Ethereum 1249, up 3.65% on that. Let's go ahead and take a look here on the 1 hour chart. We're going to go back out of this here. Okay, let me go ahead and put, actually, you know what? Real quick, let's go over first. We're going to go that second. I want to go over the trades that we had yesterday, but let's go over the data first. The data overnight, I'll just read it from the blog, be a lot easier. Okay, so here is from the blog. This is the Discord that we have, live market blog for our members. I wrote here, this is direct from Bloomberg. U.S. employment increased 127,000 private sector jobs in November, below estimates of 200,000. That's the ADP. Those are private payrolls. We have NFP on Friday. I also said that the market likes, we bounced a little bit on that number. We want a cooler labor market. So again, we want unemployment to rise. We need employment data to drop. So jobs added needs to fall. Again, that's going to combat inflation. Again, higher wages. Again, if we have too little workers, which I've said we don't have enough workers in the United States to fill the jobs that are needed. And with that being said, again, that raises wages. USD GDP deflator preliminary actual 4.3%. The forecast is 4.1%, so that's a beat. But again, the GDP number was a beat. 4.3 preliminary. The forecast, I believe, was 4.2. No, that's PCE. PCE is 4.3. That is higher than expected of 4.2. The real GDP number, that's the deflator GDP. Let me get the right one. The GDP number, geez, I put the deflator one, which is fine, but we want the actual GDP number. Here we go. Okay, the actual GDP number, quarter over quarter, is 2.9% versus 2.8. The market bounced on that, but the PCE is what dropped the market right around 4.3%. That's higher than the 4.2. PCE is what the Fed looks at in terms of inflation. They really don't look at CPI much. PCE is more of their focus. That accounts for rents and dwelling costs. So again, that's something that they watch more of. Powell will be speaking later today, 1:30 Eastern. And again, I'm still holding with that 3,900 retest. That's what we talked about yesterday. Bouncing a little bit here. Again, what I'm seeing in the market today is really just lack of liquidity, not a lot of money flow. Again, you could see the volumes are a little depressed, choppy. 39.50 broke yesterday. We bounced above it. I am short the market with SPY puts currently. Again, I do still believe that we get that 3,900 retest. We do have Powell coming later today. Let's see what we get. 39.90 is the next resistance, 39.50 being support. Currently, 10-year yields are elevated today, but again, still below that 100 moving average on the hourly on TNX. In regards to yesterday's action, I had Tesla calls yesterday, but again, that rejected here. We had a nice pop in the morning, but again, we had to get off this thing because it did break. I think it was that 50-day moving average, the 50 moving average. So we took the L on Tesla. I think it was about minus 68%. The good news is that we shorted Apple right after, and then we caught that one. We had the 140 puts. That went as high as 72%. So well done to the team. Just come one after the other. What I have open now is just SPY puts. So with regards to SPY, really all I see is that we could see that wedge forming here. Again, tighter and tighter and tighter. You can see here. Not perfect since we broke above, but again, I just expect a retest of at least 392.41. You could bounce off that. That'd be support level one. But the big support, again, is that wedge, that rising trend line that we're meeting right around 39.97 to 390. But again, the longer this goes, the tighter and tighter and tighter that range gets. And again, if you do have a rising wedge, more likely you're going to fall. So again, we have to break out one way or another. Again, that's just technical patterns that could change. We can go to the seasonality. Take a look at this. This is the S&P 500 seasonality speaking, 1950 to 2021. All the data you could see on average that again the first couple of days of December we do okay, and then the third we kind of come back, but we stay positive towards the end of the year. Again, this is just all the data, but you could see really post the 15th is where we start getting that seasonality push towards the end of the year, more than likely the Santa rally that we're expecting to just retest that trend line that we've been talking about on the S&P, that 200-day moving average and that trend line that's above. But again, with that being said, the Santa rally, again, the 15th, we're looking at that. Times are different. Things can change. We've had so far, as long as these levels hold, back-to-back green months, October and November. Fourth quarter is starting strong for the equity bulls. But again, the December rally, again, this is just seasonally. This doesn't have to happen. Keep in mind, 2018, we fell in December. Fed rate hikes. We have another FOMC meeting coming up. We have CPI coming up. NFP on Friday. So really, I think that CPI and that FOMC meeting we're going to get, I think around the 9th. I may have to confirm that date. That's really going to set the tone for the rest of the year. The expectation is a 50 basis point hike in December. If we meet that, great. If we are below that, even better. Maybe 25. I don't know. I doubt it. But I think 75 is off the table. That was what we had in mind, 75 being our forecast. But after that nice CPI number, we're going to go ahead and lower that expectation to 50 in December. That's where we are this morning. Let's go and take a look at AMD. Let's take a look here. Soothing Sounds. I hope you have a channel, Soothing Sounds, because I love that stuff. AMD right now still holding above 7250. You can see that kind of that double top here. 7250 on the hourly. That's the level I'm looking at as support, right below the 200 as well. So again, you're kind of just ping ponging around on some low volume. You can see that just that drain in volume, man, ever since the earnings report that we've had on Wednesday. So again, kind of peaked and then just been going down and down and down. But again, the semiconductors have gotten that push with lower rates and that lower CPI. Again, these are the semiconductor sector is very cyclical and obviously high growth focus. So again, we need lower rates for names like AMD to go. That GDP number was strong to see. That labor number was nice to see if you're somebody that is owning AMD. Here's Alex. I have a question about investing club. You only take long-term investments. Oh no, we do swing trades sometimes. We just took Merck for 17%. We had a target trade. I think we were up like 15% on that. So yeah, I mean, there's sometimes that are swings. There's sometimes that are long term. I have some long term holdings that are super red. Football being one of them, obviously. Baba, all those names, I have them all red. That really sucks. Coinbase, oof, I don't have a ton of money in Coinbase, but again, that does suck in terms of the stock. But again, some are long-term investments, some terms are swings. It really depends on the person. Some of our investment club members, they just buy their own index funds that they like SpyG, like I do. And then they go ahead and start looking at the stocks that I like, and then they'll buy a couple here and there. But everyone's different. You really use the information how you like. But again, we do swing trades as well. So it's not only just long-term holding and that's it. I have a TQQ position that I added to, and again, I'm looking for that standard rally so I can catch that TQQ trade. Snow earnings tonight. That's right. So again, Snow is a high beta company, growth computing, cloud computing. We know how Amazon did. We know how Microsoft did in terms of their earnings. So let's see how Snowflake does. CRM, I believe, had a good quarter. So they bounced. So maybe after their earnings, let's see if Snowflake can show us something. CrowdStrike was down after hours, about 20% after their earnings, and they were beat on top and bottom line. So it's not about the number. It's all about the forecast. It's all about the reaction. And CrowdStrike, I mean, that's a solid, they make money. It's not like CrowdStrike's a bad company, but again, you could see they're lumped into that high growth, and with high yields, we don't want that. We want lower rates in order to prop up a growing or an aggressive growth approach to stock market investing. Soothing Sounds, I'm definitely going to subscribe to your channel. All right, guys, sometimes I do feel like I repeat myself, but I think it's important to reiterate what we're looking for and what to expect. Expectations are important. We don't get surprised. So the S&P 500 kind of just chopping around here. I expect 3950 to break. Again, that 3920, now it's 3920, 3900 really being the key level of support. Would love to see that retest, maybe 3920 and bounce from there and continue higher, maybe into Friday. But as of right now, not a ton of volume out there. So again, the liquidity is an issue. We only have one trade open currently. So again, quality over quantity. Very, very important. Have a great rest of your morning. I will catch you guys tomorrow for the morning note. And of course, any other headlines that do come out, please follow our Twitter page. We have a blue check mark. Yes, I pay for it, so you know it's us, because we have imitators everywhere. We had one on Instagram. I put it on the stories. Please block and report whoever the hell that is, because that is not us. GAR Capital is the same one that we've had forever, since 2015. 2014, I started the company. So you can always take a look at that. Any questions, guys, don't give your information, like a credit card information, or send Bitcoin through DM. We don't do that. If you have any questions on something that you may think is a little weird, you can always email us, garcapital@gmail.com. That's the main email that I've had forever. You can email us and say, hey, this is you guys. I'd rather you guys ask first before you send anyone anything. So important. Please protect yourselves. Spy this afternoon for some scalps. Nice, man. Thoughts on Carvana? Carvana would be a lotto ticket for a turnaround. That's really what you're looking for. But again, you saw that pop on Wednesday. We rejected that 200 on the 1 hour. So not a lot of edge here. Again, unless you want to short, but I can only imagine how much the short cost would call for that. So if you're looking to buy puts and you expect a little more downside, maybe that 3,900 level, $7 puts, if you even have volume, is maybe worth a shot. But again, the volume is so bad out there. There is just not a lot of liquidity. So again, we're getting into the new month. We know how Christmas is. We know how December goes. So we'll be ready for anything. Have a great rest of your morning. We will see you tomorrow. Cheers.